Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. In this episode, we have a clip here of President Joe Biden saying that our economy is strong as hell while eating chocolate chip ice cream that costs 13% more now than it did just a year ago. Upon saying a litany of other things, this is one you are not going to want to miss. Support us by hitting that like and subscribe button. With that being said, let's jump right into the clip.
This one more economic one. Are you concerned about the strength of the dollar right now?
I'm not concerned about the strength of the dollar. I'm concerned about the rest of the world. Does that make sense? Yes. Our economy is strong as hell. The internal. Inflation is worldwide. Worse off everywhere else than it is in the United States. So the problem is the lack of economic growth and sound policy in other countries, not so much ours. And that's how worldwide inflation is consequential.
You're giving a speech next over here.
Why does he do that all the time? Why does he end something off with, "It's a fact, Jack," or "It's consequential. The money's back in your pocket"? I don't understand it, but he's getting slammed left and right for these statements because, like I said at the beginning here, that ice cream costs 13% more now than it did just a year ago. You got inflation at 8.2%. The CPI went up and actually did worse than what was expected. So you have that going on, and he's just nonchalantly talking about this stuff while everybody's paying more out of pocket for everything as he's eating ice cream. I don't know what it is with Democrats with this whole ice cream thing when things aren't going so well. We'll get into the whole Nancy Pelosi thing in just one moment. But as I mentioned, inflation at 8.2%. He's talking about how other countries are worse off and that he's all worried about them. How about you worry about here, man? There's enough to worry about and keep you busy, that's for damn sure. But you want to go out for a nice little PR trip of getting ice cream. Looks terrible that you're doing that. It's not a good look as you're eating a luxury item, or what some would term to be luxury item in terms of what's going on right now with inflation, gas prices, grocery bills going through the roof, the average American losing $4,300 since you've taken office, but you're going to eat ice cream. It's just a terrible optics and terrible look. I personally don't care the fact that he's eating chocolate chip ice cream, but he's not worried about the valuation of the dollar. And to kind of give you a perspective of what's going on, in terms of times of turmoil, the expectation is that because the American dollar is a good investment, that people will tend to invest in that dollar. So the dollar tends to go up while everybody else's goes down. But there's an expectation that that might not happen because of everything that is taking place in the global economy, as well as what's taking place in the United States with energy, with the cost of goods, all sorts of litany of things. But he doesn't want to focus on here. He's worried about everywhere else, which kind of explains why we're in the situation that we're in, because hell, he's not even focused on America. That's why you have record immigration. That's why you have the fentanyl flowing through the southern border and everywhere else killing Americans each and every day, which is the number one cause of death from 18 to 34-year-olds now is drug overdose. So he doesn't want to worry about anything. He's not concerned about 8.2 inflation. Remember, he's not even concerned that there was a recession. According to them, this is all a transition phase. As to what we're transitioning to, I don't know according to them, but as far as what I'm seeing with inflation up 41-year high, I think we're transitioning into a bigger recession than what they want to claim. Because if you recall, they don't think we're in a recession. They were behind it, even though they had 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. And he's also kind of talking about the US dollar in terms of what he said about the policy from the UK and hounding them and their conservative party for the things that they're trying to push through. But our economy's strong as hell, folks. Our economy's just doing great, which if you want to see how good it is, just go look at your 401k and let me know how good our economy's doing and how good your pocketbook's doing. And as I've mentioned, I don't know, honest to God, I don't know what it is with Democrats here choosing ice cream during a PR or talking about the economy or using it in times of turmoil. Because if you recall, Nancy Pelosi in 2020, during all the shebang, was caught with $24,000 fridges behind her stocked with ice cream while everybody else is getting screwed. If you don't recall, let's go ahead and roll it.
We turn now to that $350 billion fund to help small businesses and its workers get through the shutdown.
It will be up to Congress to restock it.
But Democrats blocking that move this morning.
They asked for $250 billion in 48 hours. I said, well, I don't think so. They objected, and I congratulate the Senate Democrats.
Speaker Pelosi, what are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate candy.
Thousands have been forced to wait for hours at food banks all across the country.
This is
Oh my.
chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here. We just got it restocked with the ice cream.
You don't want to eat up everything all at one time.
I can't do it much longer. I'm trying so hard.
We were, shall we say, enjoying.
Having to admit that, yeah, we're starving, and
I like it better than anything else.
Taping this segment, there are 22 million people out of work.
This specific program is about stopping job losses today.
This is hurting people bad.
Other people in our family go for some other flavors, but
right now it's survival move. You don't know where that next something else is going to come from.
I don't know what I would have done if ice cream were not invented. I just wonder.
Hey, it's it must be a Democrat Party thing, because you got Joe Biden while inflation's up, CPI's up, energy's up, your grocery bill's up, you're losing money in your 401k, you're losing money in the stock market, you got record inflation, rising overdose usage from fentanyl and other drugs, but he's worried about the global aspect of the economy. He's worried about other countries, and now you're seeing that global elitist mentality from the Democratic Party because they're so worried about everybody else rather than putting Americans first. And if you recall, one of the main messages of Donald Trump when he first ran for president was putting America first, make America great again. But when you have the Democrat Party that's willing to put illegal immigrants in front of our veterans, putting everybody else, all the other nations before ourselves, you got a massive problem. We're continually sending billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine rather than focusing on Americans here, rather than focusing on increasing domestic oil production, rather than focusing on protecting our borders so we're not having terrorists come through, violent gang members that are coming through, fentanyl, drug lords coming through. No, they want to allow all this stuff to happen because they're worried about other places. And you saw them right there. The proof was in the pudding that Joe Biden is not worried about anything. He's not worried about the US dollar. He's not worried about the US economy. He's worried about China. He's worried about Ukraine and Russia. He's worried about everybody else rather than you. And who's the people getting screwed? Us. We're going to get screwed, and we're going to continue to get screwed unless we show up at the polls here this November in a matter of weeks and vote red, folks. Be on the lookout for more episodes here of The Bald Brad Show. Support us by hitting that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow here on The Bald Brad Show.